I don't want us to get too excited about tonight's Raw, boys and girls. We've been here before, we've been excited before, and we've been screwed over many, many times before. But tonight, here's your math problem. You take one part Raw with a singles match to close out and a decisive victory. You add in a tag division tolerable push. You add some solo heel heat with Robert Roode. Repackage a Bray Wyatt. AJ Styles buys a house on Raw. You subtract Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose from the equation. What you get? Not a bad Raw. Let's mark out.
We are going to watch Battlegrounds, drink some Diet Pepsis, and talk about the Ascension.
I'm not angry. What the...
The longest-running weekly overproduced, under-talented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast.
All right, boys and girls, welcome to episode 390, what is it, 2 or 1 or one of the, 392, 91?
92.
92?
92.
Our 392nd episode of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. Monday Night Rawsome here. I got Rody Rob on right now with you, talking to you. In the studio with me, I got Bionic Brian, I got the Atom Bomb.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Good to talk to you, boys. So if you're with us live on the YouTube, hey, third time's the charm, right?
Threes.
Threes.
Everything's in threes.
What are in threes, Brian?
Well, Jesus rose on the third day, or that's what some people say.
That's what they say.
Right.
And a roadie experience finally got the show to start.
I did.
The board wants to rename you the roadie experience.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Perfect ring name. I love that.
I kind of like that.
And our board is our Twitch board, our YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. On there, we got Bang Bus. Juan is here. Mercy the Buzzard already debuting on the chat board.
Hell
That's
yeah.
good to see.
I love it.
It's Real Wrestling is here. Bang Bus GM, of course. I saw some other names. Teddy is also here. I saw some other names, but we had the reboot. I think Soji was here, and who else did you say was here that was recently before?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you're terrible.
Hey, guys.
I don't even know why I tried.
If you are watching us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, please subscribe and follow and like and comment and thumbs up. If you're listening to us on the podcast, Podbean or Spotify or iTunes, make sure you follow us on those platforms and leave some reviews for us. We'd certainly appreciate that. Hey, before we get into Monday Night Raw, and we got a lot to talk about, man. I think it was a good Raw, and it's going to create a lot of good conversation, good wrestling conversation, which is something we haven't had on this show for a long time.
I hope it's not one of those situations, though, where we get this one and then the next 3 weeks are garbage.
Well, right, and that was my point earlier, was that we're used to we're kind of jaded to this. You give us some goodness and then you shit on us for the next 8 months. But here's the thing: usually about this time of year is when they kind of take their break. Right, Mania's over. They take fucking a couple months off.
I thought they took the break from Survivor Series to Royal Rumble.
Well,
how many damn breaks do they have?
There
are no breaks, brother. Come on.
They always start after
creative takes a break.
Right. So, but tonight was a good Raw, so we're going to have some good wrestling conversations. We're not just going to shit on a bunch of stuff. There's not a bunch of stuff to shit on. It was a good Raw. Hey,
we can be nitpicky. We'll find something.
We can. But before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know something about something really special and fantastic that we have going on here at Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, and that is our ability to save you money. So if you are a big wrestling fan, and I know you are, then I want you to check out collarandelbowbrand.com. That's collarandelbowbrand.com. That's Al Snow's company. And they got T-shirts and gear for you to purchase and get a discount, 10% off your full purchase. 10%. What's the code, Adam?
The code is marked out. All one word.
All one word.
All caps.
No spaces, all caps, marked out. And don't forget also to check out our personal brand for the podcast here, markedoutgear.com, and see our own concepts and podcast shirts. And
we got a couple new concepts that are going to debut soon.
We do. We got some really exciting stuff exciting news tomorrow and new designs coming your way. So make sure you hook us up. Take care of us, guys. We got a tip jar out there if you want to check under the stream to hit that button. Help us out so that we can do this longer and give you more content. Now, all that shit is over with. Let's talk some of these. Extra big-ass topics.
Extra button fail.
Right. All right.
Anaconda Vice wants to fight me because he's saying it was a bad Raw. You're
Well,
wrong, sir.
No way.
Well, we're gonna fight about it.
You're wrong.
Because I don't. If you think it's a bad Raw, I don't know what's good for you.
Extra big ass topics.
All right, go. Here are extra big ass topics tonight for Monday Night Raw. Topic 1 is going to be tag division. Topic 2, the women's division. Topic 3, hey, guess which one it is? It's the Universal division. That is,
Did I name these?
no. Hey, I just want to say I still think it's shitty that we say that Universal is a thing, but let's move past it. Everybody else has. Number 4, a rude emergence of solo stars. And topic number 5, yowie wowie, it's the Firefly Funhouse. Then we're going to have some marked out awards, our Smarky Awards, the dirt sheets. And yeah, it's going to be a good night. We're going to have some fun tonight. So stick with us from beginning to end. I promise you, it's going to be a fun night tonight. A lot of energy. I feel it.
1.
Topic number 1 for the big ass topics is our tag division. Now, guys, there's not too much to really talk about. Well, actually, there's a lot to talk about. But the main point I wanted to address in the tag division topic here was just that tonight there was a concerted effort to highlight the tag division, and not in some campy, hokey-doke way.
Well, that's because they put teams together. You had the I almost said the Ascension. Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
They're always on your brain.
No, Revival, but you had Hawkins and Ryder. I mean, it were teams that were actually like they weren't like Frankenstein teams that were so kind of conditioned to seeing.
Right, and we got the promo by Usos, which I'm sorry if you don't agree with me. They're wordsmiths. I like their promos.
They're good.
They're full of aggression. They can be a little bit redundant, but they're full of aggression. They can be fun at times. I thought tonight's promo going through the division and then having to face off, I thought it was entertaining. It was energetic. It was aggressive. I enjoyed the promo tonight.
Not only that, but also kind of giving a nod to his little driving incident that he had.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was great. That was awesome.
I love when they do that.
Yeah, I remember New Day when Xavier was on camera. They made a little reference to that. What I really liked about the Usos being here is neither them nor the Revivals have belts, and yet they're being featured in what looks like maybe it's just a TV grudge match or a contendership feud. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but no belts were involved, and the tag teams were featured.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the newly packaged War Raiders were also.
That's not right.
No, that's not right. Try again.
Sorry.
Nope.
Fuck. Viking Experience?
No, keep going.
Take 3.
Minnesota, Oakland, Los Angeles, Vegas tag team?
No, you need to go something more redundant.
Oh, Viking Raiders.
There you go.
I was close. I was naming all the cities. My bad.
It's okay.
So what we're looking for, and they
Game of Thrones?
I mean, the only people that didn't benefit tonight was who they squashed. Lucha House Party. I know they didn't technically lose the match because it never started, but you're right. Everybody was featured, and even Hawkins, the tag champs, and Ryder got to cut a promo backstage. You had 5 tag teams in a featured spot on a Raw, and none of them were forced into an 8-man tag bullshit either.
Right. And another thing, too, about the tag division is, if you notice, as you were saying, Brian, they're not Frankensteins, but they're also serious, right? They're not the one campy team that we have on Monday Night Raw is Lucha House Party. And guess what, guys? If you're going to have a campy tag team, then you're going to want it to be Lucha House Party. They're going to bounce around. You're
going to want it to be guys they can throw around.
Right. And not only that, but they can do flips and shit. So they're entertaining as they're getting squashed. They're making the money for the product.
Plus, not to mention, they're also splitting teams, too. So addition by subtraction with the whole Robert Roode and now Chad Cable.
Right.
That's I know. But still, it's still part of the whole them leaving the tag division, and now we actually have teams that are kind of coming in that are legit teams.
Brian's foreshadowing.
You're going too far, Brian. You're going too far.
Yeah,
Get it? Foreshadowing because it's also topic 4.
So I guess to kind of close this, and we'll jump on the board here and see what our live chat boards are saying.
They be popping right now.
But my final, which was my first point, back to my final point to bookend it for myself, is that I enjoyed the tag division tonight. I thought the tag division was an example of what Raw was tonight, and that is less is more. The formula they've been using in NXT is you didn't need to shove the entire roster down my throat tonight in rushed matches and bullshit promos. You can give me a little bit of the roster tonight and then give me a little bit more next Monday. To me, it was perfectly spaced out.
let's not forget though, in the beginning when they were rushing everyone out, and we were kind of, at least for me, I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh no, this kind of seems like a big kind of clusterfuck.
Well, yeah, the sequence,
they organized it and they kind of made it sense for made it make sense.
Yeah, that's going to be in a couple topics.
Brian just wants to talk about it.
But I will say, Brian, I wish they would have brought them out as kind of as if when the match starts to see who it is, rather than ruin the whole thing at the beginning. But different topic.
Like I'm doing.
Brian's trying to do. It's a perfect
storytelling
analogy,
101.
Right. Okay.
On the board, Captain Obvious says, I'll stick with you till awards because this show was good. Perfect 11. I liked most of Raw. A couple things that didn't work, but more good than bad. I totally agree.
Yeah.
To me, I'm excited to see Revival and Usos feud. Stike says, yeah, to the point, they made nothing, just a backstage promo, and now they're going to fight at some point. This new Bray's, they're talking about Bray. I didn't mean to read that. Rob, I thought Iowa was pretty awesome of a crowd, which made Raw even better. Soji's saying, so the crowd does bring something to it.
You know what? And it was to my surprise, I should say, the Iowa crowd, Des Moines, which is not known to be a rowdy Mark City, they held their own tonight.
And Captain Obvious says, is that what they're calling tweeners now, Brian?
Assholes?
It's Real Wrestling says, honestly, tonight felt like the SmackDown formula. I could see that.
Yeah.
The way they use it, you don't have to showcase everybody tonight, get them a promo backstage, whatever. It remains to be seen. Maybe in the shakeup, the writer team switch sides.
You're getting Roman.
Fuck you.
2.
Topic number 2, let's talk about the women's division for
why do you gotta
and seriously, that's the wrong topic too. So
yeah, why do you gotta bring that up? Yeah, we're talking about the women.
Sorry.
The only thing I hate.
Okay. All right, so the women's division tonight.
All right.
So we had some interesting points in here. First, I do want to point out that now we know Alexa Bliss is staying on Raw.
Correct.
Because she's advertised next week for a Moment of Bliss Money in the Bank edition.
Correct.
Right? So we know Alexa Bliss is staying around. So
for next week. I mean, they've already made changes again.
I don't think they're going to
talk about that later.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do any more after the fact. So a couple things we could talk about here.
He says that, but that's just tempting fate.
We had the Naomi match with Billie Kay from the Iconics, and I just hate me if you want to, or as a matter of fact, if you disagree with me, I will fight you. I will fucking fight you. I love the Iconics. I think they are fucking hilarious. They're not hard to look at, and agree with me or not, they're good workers.
They're very
in the
good.
ring.
They're very talented.
Yeah, they're very talented in the ring.
What about their delivery on how they say iconic?
Iconics.
You like it?
I love it.
It kind of sounds like a jingle, right?
Yeah, we don't need to
Iconics.
talk about their in-ring abilities.
No,
What are you talking about? Their in-ring is great.
They're great wrestlers. What are you
What a
talking about?
dick.
You're seriously, bro?
You're a giant tweener.
What, tell me what's so bad about their in-ring work.
Nothing. I'm just saying you guys are
Nothing.
focusing
No,
the whole time.
I looked at Brian and said worker in ring. We actually talk. Why don't you pay attention to what we're talking about? See, the women come up and he tunes the fuck out right away.
Yeah,
right?
I was looking at the board.
So I know they're, and I keep saying the word campy tonight, but I know that their entrance was a little campy, a little goofy. But that's what they do, man.
How was I don't think their entrance is campy or goofy.
No, I'm talking about when they stopped and did their little speech there. It was quite goofy. The jokes were bad, but the jokes are supposed to be bad, right?
To be honest with you, I didn't even hear what the fuck they said. Something about Ariana Grande and Venti and
Venti
Trenta.
Grande. Yes.
They couldn't think of Ariana Grande's name.
So anyway, Iconics, and then so Naomi and Billie Kay. Naomi gets the win. Now we're not going to bring it up now because we're going to talk about this in the speed around later about is there going to be some tag team implications here? But let's go ahead and move on now to Becky Lynch and Alicia fucking Fox, which I thought they would have fired. If you go to the ring drunk for a match, you endanger yourself and your opponent.
Get a Hall of Famer fired.
Right. Get a Hall of Famer. And now yet you're back in the ring again.
Maybe she did her time, right? She paid her dues. She sat at
Brian,
home.
she almost broke the neck of a double champ.
She didn't almost break her neck.
Hey,
I'm not defending her. Don't get me wrong. I thought she looked like fucking garbage
When she went for
tonight.
that, Hurricane head scissors, whatever the fuck.
I thought it was very dangerous, but it's not like Becky landed on her head or anything.
It
Almost.
looked like
No,
it
she
almost
did
went
not.
into a
Almost.
Styles clash where the
stop
person wasn't prepared.
She was 2 inches closer to the mat
tape,
than she should have
bitch.
been.
Check the tape.
No.
All I'm saying is Foxy was dangerous, reckless, and not a good wrestler to begin with.
Correct.
Not good on the mic.
No.
Not shouldn't be a wrestler. And now she's coming back, and she's nowhere. You can tell she's not in ring shape. I mean, let me quote one of my favorite artists out there. One of my favorite artists, Anderson .Paak. Love this guy. Great guy. Here's a quote from one of his songs. She's on that cocaine train in the cocaine game because the girl's looking slim, out of shape. I don't know if she's been eating. I don't know what the deal is, but she shouldn't have been in that ring with Becky. It was stupid. Why she's even in the ring? Not necessarily the matchup. It was stupid that she was in the ring. So you guys want to say anything about Alicia Fox?
I want to go to the board about Iconics since we blew past it. But
okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Captain Avi says he's going to bed because Rob loves the Iconics.
Oh,
It ruined his night.
Come on.
Perfect 11 says, why would anyone fight you about the Iconics, Rob? He says they're great. Fantastic team. They were built to be heel tag champs.
Absolutely.
Absolutely true there. To me, Iconics are good workers, but creative doing crap with them, having them lose for a third week in a row since winning the championship, Stike says.
What are you talking about?
Heels can lose, Stike, especially heel champs.
And they're on every fucking week. What are you talking
and
about?
they stole the pin. It's not like they won a tournament to get there. They stole the pin in a fatal four-way. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and Soji says the biggest problem, he says Royce and Kay will be iconically the tag team with the most losses in WWE women's history, but still entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make wins and losses not matter.
Well, and they can set records because they're setting the precedent. They've never had these titles before. Come on.
Well, okay, yeah, but they still are not the longest reigning. They still have like a month to go.
True.
Okay.
Then they'll be truly iconic.
Okay, so the story is going back to women's right. What's her damn name?
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans. All right, Lacey Evans, which has been thrust into the championship picture because she's a lady. I don't get this. I still, we talked about it before, but I don't understand why they not have anybody else that can have Becky fight at Money in the Bank. They couldn't.
Who else are you going to push?
I just would have liked her to have more of a contendership battle. She had one match. It gave her a contendership. Now she's in a championship booking at a pay-per-view. Like this is Ronda level too soon.
Yeah, but they
let her get some wins. Let her earn her shot.
She's had wins in NXT.
I just think she'd be more over with the crowd this way, more believable. The biggest thing we hated was Ronnie getting pushed too soon. If Ronnie had a chance to develop, maybe according to when she debuted, when she was over, that she said she was gonna not chase the title and build herself in the division. If somebody, I mean, maybe not the heel Lacey Evans, if somebody else does this, we might actually care and believe in them. Thrusting them, even if she wins or loses, I think it's bad booking.
Why am I saying thrust?
I think that's bad wording.
I don't care.
Thrusting them.
Thrust.
Makes it more interesting.
Now, I agree. This look, Money in the Bank is, well, in Adam's view, it's like the fifth major, right? I think
it's starting to become that way in everybody's view,
and that's fine. But let's still look at it in the scale of four big ones, right? The big four. Money in the Bank is still below that, right? As far as what they push. So to me, you find yourself somebody who's going to challenge your champion. That's going to be not quite main event, or maybe right at that, right beforehand, or right at the bottom of the main event scene, and let Becky get over on them, and then you save the big talent as a long game to the big four, right?
Okay, but who's that lady?
I mean, let's look at the roster. I don't know who the females are on the Raw roster right now. I'm very confused by that. Right?
Well,
I've got the World Wide Web right in my hand.
Don't forget, Rob. Also, there's going to be a briefcase out here. Becky's got 2 belts. There could be a scenario where she defends both at Money in the Bank because there's plenty of time to build to that. It's not till May 19th. We're at April 22nd.
Right.
You do 2 defenses, and there's a Money in the Bank briefcase out there for the women. Who knows what the storyline could build? They could even let Lacey win the belt for 2 seconds and get cashed in on.
What about, we forgot about Alexa Bliss. I mean, what if she gets back into the title picture? And I could see Alexa Bliss versus Becky at SummerSlam.
I can see that too. My point I'm trying to make is that Lacey Evans should be in the Money in the Bank match. Let her have her big debut, or big pay-per-view debut in the Money in the Bank match.
Her briefcase should just be like a nice purse, like a little
right.
Or is that like it fits her character? I mean, I guess maybe it's like a little
satchel.
too feminine. Yeah, put a fucking brick in there. That's great. That's even better.
I love that. That's great. That's good old-fashioned.
Or fucking the white powder. She could
Yeah.
have makeup. It could be her makeup. Like
fucking
make it
creative
80s.
team right
Who
here.
gives a shit?
All right. So anyway,
We're so much better than creative.
yeah, he should not be, or she should not be in a main event. Well, moving on.
3.
Topic number 3. Okay.
You don't care about the board again?
All right. Strike that. Reverse it. Go ahead. Board. What are they saying?
Soji says, guys, Becky needs to shorten the promos and wrestling more. That's her strength. She's trying to too hard to cut a good promo. I agree with that to an extent. I don't think she has to do it every week. She could cut a short and sweet promo every week. I think Sammy's in the same realm. You get that one iconic promo, you don't have to keep doing it every week or reinventing it. And Perfect 11's defending Lacey says promo was decent. I like how they played the lady versus the man parallel. Lacey's not going to win, but giving her the rub by being in the ring with Becky will help her a lot.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that, but again, too soon.
Right, I like that parable, but you could have saved that for maybe. It could be they could build that to Rumble. Build it to Rumble. Let Lacey get her dues on the main roster. Run through some girls.
Tamina.
Sure.
And Bang Bus says women's segment over. I'll check back in.
No.
Why do you have to read that?
All right.
Why do you have to read that? Because he's a woman hater.
Just FYI, I hate to break the bearing of the show real quick, but is your chat board not working on your computer?
It's working just fine.
So you just reading your phone for the hell of it?
Yeah.
But he needs to sit in that seat.
3.
You're on your phone too, dink.
Topic number 3, Universal Division. The Universal Division, and I still, again, think that's such a stupid title name, but everybody's moved on. I will too. So, like Brian was saying, we start out with this clusterfuck of... It wasn't up, was it?
Windows aren't even open.
No, they weren't.
No.
We started with this clusterfuck of talent coming to the ring. Here's my thing.
Clusterfuck starter.
Here's my thing about the opening to Raw tonight with this clusterfuck is you had Hunter start the caravan out. What use was Hunter?
As the de facto authority figure for the night?
But what did he put into the story? We saw the who. What was his what?
I think he brought the why because he demanded it. He's in charge.
Did he demand it?
Well, he
Who,
said
Seth?
this. I mean, he didn't demand it. He said this is what's going to happen. Tonight we're going to crown a number one contender.
Yeah.
I think he was the why.
See, here's my
He
thing.
was the catalyst for everybody else to come out.
This was the one moment of the show for me that I said earlier that tonight was spaced out well, right? We didn't have a lot of you didn't give us too much. This is the one moment where I agree with you, Brian. They did too much, right? All you need Hunter is good on his own. The crowd is good on his own. All those other 7 stars that showed up, they were going to show up anyway. So if they were just looking for crowd pops,
That's exactly what I was going to say. Maybe it was just a pop test to see what who guys kind of drew what and all that jazz.
Yeah, because they're still maybe they don't know who's going to win Money in the Bank yet, and they're trying to decide.
okay, let me jump in the scene here. This is what they need to do in the opening with Hunter. Ready? And scene. It's good to be in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know how to do it. But Des Moines, Iowa. It's Monday Night
Des
Raw.
Moines.
Des Moines, Iowa, whatever. But it's Monday Night Raw. We're fucking we're happy to be here. Blah, blah, blah. So here's what you're going to get tonight. Seth Rollins his title's going to be up for grabs at Money in the Bank. And these 3 are going to fight these 3. And then they're going to fight each other. And then the winner of that's going to fight Seth at whatever. And then you don't need any of those people to come out. The crowd pops for Hunter. He goes away. They go to fucking commercial break.
You can even do the same thing, have the same effect with just showing a slide.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. You could do that. And then, or they put a match on after that. You just pick a match, put it on, right? And then you get the 3 people who are going to come out for their match, and the 3 people for the other match. And then Seth at the end, whenever the winner emerges, Seth comes out on the ramp for the final pop of the night, kind of trying to steal the thunder of the winner of all of it, right? To me, that's much more of a story builder than let's just throw everybody out there and see what they all think. It's a little extra to me.
And it seems like it's kind of like the inmates run the asylum. Like it's usually on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown we have like the authority figure, and they usually have a stranglehold on like matchmaking and all that stuff. But tonight it was just like everyone just kind of came out and okay, that was it. Those were the triple threats.
Hey, let's have a microphone party.
Right.
Maybe Lesnar's going to fight Hunter again at Mania, and this is just the first thing. Soji says because he thought that the Lesnar knock for Vegas by Triple H worked. He said that was the only thing he liked about Hunter coming out there.
Well, I mean, that's all he did, too.
That was the only point. That was
Yeah.
the only sting. That was the only dig.
Yeah, so again, I just don't think they needed everybody else to come out there and do that. So let's jump into these matches one by one. So we had Ray versus Samoa Joe versus AJ, and then you had Corbin versus Drew versus Miz. And I only say both of them right now.
Had AJ versus Baron.
I know. I'm getting there, Adam. I'm had a process here.
Okay.
So I mentioned both those matches, and we'll go one by one with them, like I said. But I mentioned both those matches because of the stark contrast between the 2 of them. So let's start with number 1. The first one was Ray versus Samoa Joe versus AJ. 3 ring generals, 3 veterans of the game, right? Just making each other look good. Just fucking high-speed, energetic sells, storytelling, fucking crisp moves, personality oozing out of the ring. Great false finishes, good breakups. I mean, good reversals. The whole goddamn thing was the picture perfect triple threat match. The two giants of the match, Samoa Joe and AJ, helping. Ray's been looking kind of shaky lately, Brian, and I thought that these two really helped Ray look his best he's looked since returning.
I mean, he had a little ankle injury that kind of
Sure, but he
stalled him a little bit.
He's still been kind of a 30% left gone from the tank, man. Come on.
No. Did you see the stuff? I mean, that's how he got back into the show. It was just all the stuff he was doing on the indies. He looked amazing.
I just don't see it.
I just think it's recycled. I don't think he needs to be in the main event picture, but him being in a match like that where kind of his name elevates others, so I have no problem with him just being kind of just a contender.
I'm okay with him in the match.
Sure.
I'm saying that this match helped him to look his best since returning to the roster.
Definitely. But that could also just be because we're, time heals injury, so we're a few weeks after WrestleMania.
Well, you're looking at a completely more optimistic view. I think Ray's a shell of himself.
I don't think so. I think this is his kind of incline. I think it's just going to get better from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he looked really good tonight, and I don't think it was Joe and AJ carrying him. I think it was 3 seasoned veterans.
I didn't say carry.
Well, I mean, you said help him through hiding the fact that he's lost his step.
That's not what I said at all either.
Okay, what did you imply then?
No, I just said that having 2 generals in there, 2 veterans like that, really helped
3 veterans.
With
That's
him.
my point.
With him. Let me do my point. You're getting semantics and you're not even right with it. All right? The 2 veterans in there with Ray helped Ray to look a lot better than I think he's been wrestling.
No, I'm agreeing with Brian.
Okay.
I think that he looked just fine, and it really shined because all 3 of them are very good wrestlers that can still go.
Yeah, okay.
Regardless of the age, if that's what you're implying.
I agree with you, with the exception of the 1 point.
Brennan Bread joining us late. He says, "Sup, promosexuals." That would be us. He says Drew, though, needs to have a big year. Last year for fuck all.
Anaconda Vice on the board is really kind of he does not enjoy our opinions
tonight.
He thinks it was
we're on
like complete
drugs.
shit. Yeah, he's like, "What show did you watch?"
Really?
Yeah. Right.
Well,
I thought tonight was great.
Here's the thing, Anaconda, and just let me start this by saying we love you, and we always have. We hope you continue to love us too. But no, look, here we're giving you point by point reasons why we think tonight is good, and these are points that if you check the tape, it was good. So either you were watching a recap of last week, or you didn't watch it all.
On the board, Rob, I wrote back to him. I said, "Show your work, AV. Give me an example." He says, "Don't make me call in. I don't want to embarrass you guys." I welcome it.
I'll take it off of you. Let us know on the board you're calling in. I will take it off Do Not Disturb, and you can call in. Because you were so fucking wrong. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bury you alive in point after point after point, and you're going to go, "But no, it was stupid." No, give me a point. "But no, it was dumb." But no, give me a point. "But no, it was, my phone disconnected." It's going to be something like that. That's how it's going to go. Love you, Anaconda, but fucking wrong on that, brother. You're wrong. Okay, where are we at?
They're talking about now Drew winning the Money in the Bank.
Okay, so
and Soji says it was a really good matchup for the 3 of them from the shakeup to come in. Brian pointed this out when we were watching. Samoa Joe had to come in the off-TV supplemental draft. So this really was also a way for the audience to know Joe is on Raw again.
And what did you say?
And the U.S. title.
What did you say about Cole?
Hey, I mean, he kind of just no-sold it. Like, he didn't really make it like a big deal that Samoa Joe is on Raw with the fucking U.S. title.
There's Samoa Joe.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Look, yes, Brian, you're absolutely right there. I don't want to. That's a great point. Let's just move to.
You yawned through it.
No,
the podcast people didn't know that you were doing the powwow Indian yawn over there.
I was doing it. I was doing a Prince Volume from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Where
that's
have you
what I'm
been?
saying. They didn't know that.
Okay.
They couldn't see the great acting you were doing.
Oh, true. Thank you. So we bring up the first match, which was a great battle of veterans, and then we bring up the second match now: Corbin, Drew, and Miz. Which I had Corbin initially, then I changed it to Miz, and then I changed it back to Corbin in time before the match ended. Which is true story.
Like right as Corbin was pinning.
No, it was like 2 minutes before.
As soon as he threw Drew off.
I'm still shitting on myself. I'm just being honest about it. You guys are making shit up.
No,
it's still
we're
2
being
minutes.
obvious.
No, you're being obviously full of shit.
No.
But this match was different for me. And guys, here's my problem. The finish for the match was great. I thought the stolen Claymore Claymore kick, the stolen kick. It was good timing. Everything worked out well. My biggest problem with this match is, and it's the same problem I've been having with Miz lately, is this match against two monster-sized heels and Miz, and you make Miz into being a badass. You're trying to sell me that he's flying around kicking these two guys' asses. I'm sorry. I like the Miz, but if there's any guy in the roster that you cannot portray to me as a high-flying badass, the Miz is that guy.
He did a springboard.
He did a springboard.
Kind of.
But it was kind of like if you're wrestling with a pillow.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. The Miz needs to be a squirmy heel. I'm sorry. There's that. I'm not saying it ruined this match for me, Brian, but I'm saying that the match was not as good for me because of it.
He needs to be a heel, period. Get rid of I don't want to see this fucking happy-go-lucky Mike Mizanin with his fucking dad out there and all this bullshit.
And stealing Zack Ryder's headbands. What's that about?
All the glitter and all that stuff. And even his haircut, it looks like fucking 2011.
Yeah, Monroe
Zack Ryder.
Sky is ashamed to call you her daughter.
Dude, I want to pause here for a minute. And I want to just call out the absolute ridiculousness of our fandom here. Okay? Here we are, grown men, and all of you on the board and in the podcast, all of us watching this product, right? Ready for two guys to beat the shit out of each other. Kayfabe or not. And you got Drew McIntyre standing in the ring in his black underwear with a studded leather jacket that goes down to his legs. And then you get The Miz walks in with his purple shiny headband and his Serpentor jacket.
Same duster.
In his underwear. And they're eyeing each other off. I'm just saying, if you picture that...
Eyeing each other off? What are you implying,
I'm
Rob?
just saying, I'm saying you picture that in any other context, and you would go, like if I told you that happened last night at the bar I was at, these two guys walked up, and this is how they looked. What the fuck kind of world are we in, man?
True.
I'm sorry.
You gotta suspend your
I know.
disbelief.
I had to break my kayfabe for a minute.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, Miz needs to get rid of the headband.
It was a little too much.
Yeah.
It was a little too much.
And the face persona needs to go
well,
away.
the headband, the glasses,
Yeah.
the jacket. Like, there's just a lot of, gimmick after gimmick after gimmick.
When he was wearing the I don't want to get into fashion files here, but when he was wearing just kind of the black hoodie with the cuts, when he do, yeah.
That was when he was with fucking Sandow? With Mizdow? When he had the hood?
Was that it? Mizdow? I
don't know. He's had a lot of...
He's had a lot of weird, above the shoulder gimmicks.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't get into pageantry of it too much. Okay, so now we get AJ and Corbin. Guys,
wait. Perfect 11 says you forgot the tall bald man who looks like he's late for his bartending shift that showed up after that.
Good one. And then we get AJ and Corbin, and AJ, aka Extra Soccer Mom, with his new highlighted blonde hair and his kind of patchy 13-year-old boy beard, versus Baron Corbin. Guys, not a bad match. Am I wrong?
It wasn't a great match, right? But it wasn't bad.
It wasn't a bad match. It had a decisive finish, and that's what we've been wanting. Raw's been giving us triple threats, 6-man tag matches, fucking everything in the world, and all with shit endings. Finally, we get a singles match with a decisive ending that has an actual consequence for the future, which is what every episode of every TV show should always end on, is a point that has something to do with the future.
I just don't know. Like, how is tonight? It didn't feel like it's been very different, like, from weeks past. Like, what have they done so different tonight that made it so much better?
One of the things that I know this isn't new territory with the whole triple threat winners fight there. They've done that before, but I felt like to me, it was a little new territory because there wasn't some bullshit beat the clock challenge. There wasn't some gauntlet that they've done like repeatedly. I don't know. Maybe it was just the fact that every fucking Mania or Raw since Mania has been absolute shit, that tonight was booked in a somewhat entertaining way. We had two, maybe you don't like the storyline wise, but we had two really decent triple threats in their own regard of varying different styles. Like the pace of each match was very, very different, that they stood out on their own instead of one stealing the other's thunder.
Right.
And then you had the ending be what it was. The fans got AJ versus Seth at Money in the Bank, which to me, it was a letdown because I wanted AJ to be in the Money in the Bank match. I think he could really shine there.
Agreed.
Even if he's not going to win the briefcase or doesn't need to. But again, everything that happened for a reason. And the only thing that I really was against tonight is I would have liked to see Drew maybe go fight AJ. But maybe Drew is winning the briefcase, so he has to look a little weak right now. I think it did what it was supposed to for all levels, like Rob did the topics, tag, women's, universal. Maybe it was more for the women's tag than it was for the women's individual belt, but everything was on tonight's show and built towards something.
Right.
Like you said, the future, Rob. They were doing something for a reason. It wasn't just, hey, Blackishay's out here to fight 4 other guys in an 8-man tag because it's Monday and we didn't have anything else to do. They're finally felt like they're now next week could be right back where Sucktown
And
comes.
we've been there before.
I wouldn't even wait till next week. I mean, tomorrow, right?
Well, I mean, but
I know it's a different show, but
SmackDown,
you got Roman.
Yeah, SmackDown tends to be a little bit more creative.
Here's-
Maybe it will be. Maybe the creative bus stops because Roman went there and it took off here because he left.
Well, here's my thing. Some people are left brain, some people are right brain, right? And I don't know how this equates to necessarily to what I am, but I am more about the entertainment, right? I love the wrestling. I really do. I'm entertained by the wrestling. But when the entertainment content of the product is entertaining, to use the word, when I want to watch it, it draws me in to watch the matches more, right? When the entertainment is shit, I tend to not pay as much attention to the matches. Well, tonight, the entertainment portion of the night was good.
and there wasn't that much like fluff
There
around
wasn't.
everything, right?
Right. It was to the point, and it was entertaining. And it made me want to watch these matches even more, right? So that's kind of where I went with the whole concept of Monday Night Raw tonight. I know we're not talking about, AJ is not going to be taking on Seth at Money in the Bank, which I think will have a great build-up. I think it's something we can all enjoy. I agree. I think they're saving Drew for SummerSlam. I know we're kind of disagreeing on that one, or we were. I don't know where we're at now with it.
Well, I mean, after the conclusion of the show, yeah, I could see that. Because, I mean, he did look strong, and they booked him that way, so I could see him having
My
that
whole
match.
thing is I'm worried, though, that next week it's going to be AJ and Seth, 2 faces, Brian, their faces, 2 faces that are going to tag together because one of the McMahon makes them, and it's going to start there. Oh, he threw a punch there. They're going to have one of those respect feuds that ends up breaking down. I don't like. I wish it would have been a heel. I wish it would have been somebody like Drew, somebody giving chase, something. I think you're blowing your wad early, right after a shakeup, to go right into AJ and Seth.
I know you're going to.
That's just my personal.
The respect angle is probably going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, it will be.
I'm personally hoping for a Seth turn.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, this could just be the spark that leads to one of those guys turning. Me, actually, I prefer AJ. I would see. Actually, you know what? No, I haven't seen a heel Seth.
Seth was
yeah,
so,
that's right.
He was
so mean.
Niveling and mean. Oh, I can handle a face AJ when he sucks up to the crowd. When Seth sucks up to the crowd, it's unbearable. It really is. Hey, don't worry, guys. We're gonna get to the Bray thing. I promise. Stick with us.
4,
So topic number 4 is a rude emergence of solo stars. So as Brian had alluded to earlier, we saw some tag teams split up. And so let's start this topic with this one. The Glorious Gable is no more.
R.I.P.
No mas.
R.I.P. And we have the arrival. And we marked out the minute we saw it on the commercial previewing it, where we saw Robert Roode.
Just the graphic.
Just the graphic we marked out. Because we knew.
Mustachioed.
We got a heel Bobby, Robert, whatever Roode coming in. We don't know if they're going to play the Rick Rude character. If they were, I think we were all cool with that, depending on how they presented, obviously. But giving us a heel Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, forgive me, is so long overdue. He's so good at it, and they were totally missing the mark with that. They really, really were. But here's the thing, guys.
Vince doesn't watch NXT, man. Remember?
That's right. He didn't watch anything.
No.
Goddamn. What's that yellow brand we have? Is that Piss TV? I don't know what it's called. Here's the thing. So Ricochet Which, by the way, I heard somebody shitting on Ricochet's entrance on one of our competitor shows. I don't see the shit. Why? Because the lasers aren't there anymore. The laser lights. I love the fucking.
How are they shitting on it?
They were saying that they got rid of the green laser lights. It would kind of surround him. They're like, oh, you taking away from him. Then they added some Superman kind of super effects to his music. I didn't think the effects to the music were that big a deal.
Who cares?
But I think the light show on his entrance was fucking still cool.
Yeah,
it's still cool.
Maybe they'll do it at like big show. Like at the, I don't want to call them pay-per-views. It's weird calling them pay-per-views.
They still do pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you had this classic heel versus face match, boys. Classic. I mean, the story is there. The face takes the heat. The heel delivers the heat. And that's what it was. Bobby Roode was delivering that heat the whole time. You had Ricochet come in with some hope spots, but you had good timing. You had good sells. You had good wrestling. And here's the thing, is normally when that face comes back at the end, Brian, on the comeback, and then takes the win, it didn't happen this time.
Not at all.
Well,
no.
Also, we were arguing here in the studio who should win this match. Regardless of how it was booked, we were arguing who should win it. And you, Brian, said you thought Ricochet needed the win.
No.
I don't think he did. He's been getting wins in lots of TV time and good debuts, and people are exposed to him. Bobby needed this, or excuse me, Robert needed this.
Right.
Glorious Robert Roode, looking more like Ravishing Rick Rude, was perfect. The porn stash gave him the power, the slight makeover. It's a small twist, but lose the right off the bat, that promo, losing the 150-pound dead weight of Chad Gable made him that way. That's all he needed. They never needed that breakup that you wanted, Rob.
The one thing that I don't like about it is, though, this was Ricochet's first match without Alistair, and on the Raw or SmackDown shows, that's all that we're accustomed to, seeing them together as a tag team, and they've been pretty successful. Now you have Ricochet as a singles competitor wrestling in his first match against a guy that's been on TV that's been, let's face it, kind of underwhelming. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to lose to him. And I'm not saying it was a bad match by any means, but I mean, this is just another example of them bringing up an NXT talent and not really kind of giving them the proper push.
No, I think you're being a little bitchy here. I'm sorry.
No, sir.
First off, Ricochet has been getting over like fucking Grover on the main roster, man. He's been getting it. He's been getting all of his dues. And hold on. And fucking Bobby Roode has been getting shat on since in his tenure in the main roster.
And he just beat Ricochet.
Yes. Who needed
exactly.
He had a new look. He had a new style. He had a new attitude. You're going to bring him in with the same old loss? No, Ricochet's been getting pushed. He's going to continue to get pushed. Bobby Roode, to be a successful heel, needed to win here. And you can play the angle where Ricochet has the build up to try to get over at the end of the champion should, but sometimes faces lose feuds. Sometimes they lose feuds.
Sometimes
especially when you need to build. Perfect 11 hits at home here. Says, love this new Robert Roode. It's back to his NXT heel persona. The porn stash and the full first name helps ensure he doesn't turn into a tweener again as well.
Good.
And then he said Ricochet could afford to lose the match more. Roode can't come back with this kind of gimmick tweak and not go over.
Right.
He'd be DOA.
Now,
like I think maybe our next part of this topic is.
Well, hold on. A good segue. I just want to get a final point in. Is where the options were here, Brian, in my mind. The only two options you could do correctly here was one, the way it happened. Robert Roode wins clean.
Sure.
Nothing. Mm-hmm. Or two, Robert Roode wins via.
This I would have liked better.
Via dirty finish.
Yep.
Bangba says, shut up, Brian. He says Ricochet's like 100,000 wins and one loss on the main roster.
Okay, let's let
it's not going to kill him.
He didn't say shut up. Now you're just putting words in his mouth.
Let's let the podcast guys talk for a minute. Okay, we'll get to the board. So those two options, I personally, I hear you. Don't have to explain. I personally think that the way he did win was preferable because it showed the power of his character, that he can get it done. That doesn't mean that he won't cheat when he has to. But you remember on NXT, he wasn't running through people beating him dirty. He was running through them.
Yes, he was.
No,
yes,
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, it wasn't towards the end.
It was a mixture. Of
towards the end, he was getting dirty because the challengers would be getting more. But he had a good run with that title where he was beating motherfuckers clean, left and right. Give him that strength, that capability, and then even Flair. Flair would beat people clean. He beat Steamboat clean plenty of times. Sting beat him clean plenty of
Yeah,
times.
but Brian doesn't understand
would've
heels
time-
and
but from-
faces.
but from time to time, you give him the dirty finish to solidify that he is a heel.
I would have even accepted just a roll up of the trunks, something like that.
No.
Something
No.
to just
It's cheap.
put
It's
over
cheap.
just
It's
something
cheap.
to put over the fact that he
You're
is
arguing-
110%
You're arguing with
a
the guy.
heel.
He's cheap. No, it's cheap.
We heard you the first time. Adam.
You need you need to make him powerful. Your method is cheapening him. Sorry.
It just doesn't work.
Okay.
It's fine. He lost. Get
Okay.
over it.
So what's the other one we had here?
The other one is Cedric Alexander making his debut.
Oh, now this one.
Cesaro
How is this
making
different?
his debut back into singles competition. You have a Sheamus being injured.
How is
so
it different?
Cesaro has to make a stand here. They both kind of need it. I think this is how it's different here, Brian. You can make an argument that Ricochet can get over it. Cedric is debuting, and Cesaro's returning to singles competition post Sheamus injury.
Correct.
So I think they both need it here, where the other one's a locked and shut case.
No, this one I can kind of accept just because Cesaro is
The
proven.
veteran. Yeah,
exactly
proven, yeah.
right. So this one I don't really have too much of a problem with. How it would have been nice to see Cedric pick up the win, but
Maybe this is
whatever. This is fine.
I mean,
I'm fine with it.
It was a good match, but maybe it was a
great
bad
match.
Yeah, it was. But maybe it was a bad booking for Cedric's debut on the main roster.
I agree.
As a main roster talent.
Could have been week 3 for him.
Right. But I mean, I get it. Cesaro, he is a seasoned veteran here. You would expect him to win. I would have preferred this match to end in a no contest. Double count out, double DQ. If this is going to be a storyline continued, if it is, instead of a one-off, I don't know, I would have preferred that kind of way. So
he beat him clean, so
He did beat him
Probably
clean.
be a one-off.
I mean, I don't think you said they're going to squash. You think they're going to squash Cedric?
I think they are.
I'm in the hope that they won't, but again, I'm not going to put it past them too. So, but anyway, Cesaro. Let's go to Cesaro for a minute. Is he getting a true singles push here? Or is he going to be a utility player for a while?
I think he's up there with Kofi on the level of, you guys had a gem when you first booked him.
We've never had a Swedish champion.
No. I mean, you had it. No. I don't mean like that. I mean, you had a gem in your mid card when Cesaro first came along.
Yeah.
And they never elevated him. And then he got buried, and then he got Frankenstein with Jack Swagger, and he got Frankenstein with Sheamus, and he's never had another singles run since then. This guy can legit go. I'm not saying he's a future champion or future Swiss.
Yeah.
I think he's a main event player if you book him right. He can go with anybody, big guys, little guys. I mean, he can make a good match with any of them.
Okay.
5,
All right, topic number 5. Here we go. Yowie wowie! It's the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh my God!
So our friend in Memphis, you may know him as Bob, formerly Colonel Bob. We're now changing his name to Buzzkill Bob. He was texting us during the Bray Wyatt Funhouse segment, shitting all over it. Right? Why does WWE hate
Full
me?
diarrhea.
Why can't they just let me enjoy Bray Wyatt?
It was flowing.
I don't know what the consensus is on the board or out there in wrestling fandom land. I'm sure I'm going to see it on the all the forums and everything tomorrow. This Bray Wyatt repackage, this debut of the character, and this concept in itself, for me personally, gentlemen, was absolutely fabulous. This was so perfect. I was grinning ear to ear the entire time. I was laughing to myself and to others. I was relishing and absorbing the entire segment, Brian.
I right there with you. For me, I thought there were parts that seemed like it was kind of a little confusing where it seemed like they were going, but that's good. It kind of keeps you kind of questioning where his character actually is going and what his kind of motives are and what I don't know, like where the fuck is he going to go after this? I don't know.
I don't know.
Are we just going to keep seeing these these promos, or is he actually like they haven't really said anything? And I kind of dig that.
I like part of the little throwbacks. Obviously, the buzzards. He always would talk about the buzzards. Now he's got a buzzard puppet. The show is called the Fireflies. Those were all the people with the cell phones. So I like how he has some throwbacks to his old gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't know why he cut his old gimmick with a chainsaw. I definitely think it should have been less TV Funhouse and more Pee-wee's Playhouse in my mind. Like, if he sat on a chair that talked like Cherry, I would have lost my shit a lot more than this Mr. Rogers hybrid of crazy.
I did notice right before he cut up the head off of his poster there, I don't know if you noticed, but he kind of put his hand over his ear like he had an earpiece in, and he was like talking to somebody. He's like, "Yeah." Okay.
On his gloves. On his gloves, it said like hurt and what?
Heel. Yeah.
So I guess maybe it's like he's hearing like one glove is like good, one is bad.
Oh, I didn't know if he was like making fun of like Gorilla. Oh, okay, squash that one. Okay, you cut it down.
He did hurt, and then he started the chainsaw and cut it.
Okay, I don't know how you can't like this. I remember the first time I saw the Matrix movie. Right, I was blown away by that movie. It was so new and so different. Like even all the people in the theater were cheering for it and getting into it. It was just something different from what we had in the theaters before that, from the movies before that. It was groundbreaking. Independence Day, same way, kind of groundbreaking kind of movie. And for me, this segment of this segment of Bray Wyatt, this Funhouse thing, to me was so unique and so different that it was so welcomed by me.
Just something new, something original here. This is a different take.
Right.
Adrian Brooks has joined us. He says one glove is good, one is bad. It's an interesting point that they make. I think that obviously Penny the Witch is very much a knockoff of Sister Abigail.
Sure.
But we finally, you guys were both complaining about we've seen these promos. Give us something more. They gave us the whole enchilada tonight.
It kind of came out of fucking nowhere, too.
Yeah.
Right. You almost fast-forwarded through it because you didn't
I thought
realize.
it was a fucking USA career. I thought Chris Lee was coming on.
Yeah. Or Bray. Yeah, Bray was getting a reality show where this was it. The board, most of the board says that they like it. One of them postulates, what if he's all kid-friendly and then the bell rings and he's just
No, don't do a
Festus
Festus thing. No.
Well, no. I mean, he's just a psychopath in there. Like, he beats up his guy and then he's back. Hi, kids.
I will say this: if he's gonna do this whole transformation, the moveset has to change. He can't do Bray Wyatt's moveset.
What about the finisher?
No, I would change everything about. I wouldn't do the big fucking splash.
He's keeping pieces though of his character, of his old character.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
I would change it all. I would change.
I would too. I'm with you.
His entire moveset. I'm hoping this whole time he's been working on a whole new moveset.
What about his new tagline? I guess, "Let me in." Is that like a little?
I thought it was.
Is that a little aggressive?
Let me in, like a little. It's very.
That was one of Bob's main points. He said that was very rapey.
Yeah, let me in.
Yeah, I mean it's a little Chris Hansen, right? Is that the guy who does the?
Why don't you have a seat?
Catch a predator.
In my rocking chair.
Have a seat. All right.
Wow, you snorted it.
Give us the board, then we're gonna move on. We got a lot to cover, and we've been running long already.
Let Bray's finisher be the Cobra. That's from Bang Bus. I'll wait and see. I love Bray's crazy old promos, but they never led to anything. This one seems totally fucked up and more PG-13 than anything, but sure, it's fun. That's from Perfect 11.
I agree.
And finally, Soji says, Rob, unless there's an actual female Sister Abigail this time, this could be just another fail.
Hey, it's WWE, man. It could absolutely be a fail.
What was it,
They
Penny?
could change it all next week. None of this could be the same.
Maybe
this could be the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, Vince didn't approve none of this, and he's going to go, wait, I don't like that. Change everything.
Shit, no Viking Raiders. It's going to be the Bray Wyatt experience.
What you want. Something new. Something fresh. In the coming weeks and months, you will be seeing new.
You just skipped the
live
NXT
from
minute.
the Wide Table Studios. It's the Smarky Awards.
I'll bump it down. All right, so Smarky Award. Hey, I missed the whole segment. Hey, something new, something fresh. If you want something new and fresh, go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Promo code marked out, all one word, 10% off your full order. Also, markedoutgear.com, our own personal gear store. Go there, get our original concept, athletic clothes or T-shirts and our podcast stuff. Again, 10% off is marked out, all one word, markedoutgear.com. Hey, real quick before we jump into the Smarky Awards, let's do this speed round. So Naomi came out tonight against the Iconics, and we're trying to figure out if Naomi's gonna feud with the Iconics moving forward. We're assuming yes. Who would be the tag team partner for Naomi? So just a quick speed round board. You want to throw them on there to knock yourself out? Naomi's tag partner. I'm gonna let you guys go first. I don't care.
Brian?
Alexa?
That's horrible.
Why?
That's so uncreative.
Why? They Frankenstein everyone. Why is that uncreative? What the fuck else is she doing?
Okay. Didn't mean to offend you, Brian.
Well, you did. I'm emotional now.
I get so emotional, baby. Adam?
Tamina.
You're gonna say his.
That's stupid, too.
Yeah, I just that way I don't have to see either on TV.
Here's what I'm going to say. You think it's too late for call-ups?
No, Bangbus says Natty on the board.
Oh, Jesus. Don't do that.
That's a
No.
Cat and glove.
No fucking what's-her-face. Beth Phoenix has been doing all the Instagrams and Twitter things.
Oh,
They're not done.
Divas of Doom.
Yeah, Divas of Doom. They're still doing their thing. Here's what I'm thinking. The other day on Instagram, old Naomi was doing a workout in a Bianca Belair shirt and throwing a shout-out to Bianca Belair.
Yeah, but you can't call her up because her husband isn't on the main roster.
All right, what was the second part of the speed round, Adam?
Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott for Stike. The other part of the speed round is your quick Money in the Bank picks right now before they add anybody to the match. Man and woman, who's your pick?
AJ Styles.
He's not okay.
No, I was kidding.
The one guy booked against.
I'm joking.
Repeat the question.
Who's your quick take picks right now?
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, man and woman, who wins it this year?
Bobby Roode. Robert Roode.
Andrade.
I'm gonna go with Alexa and Drew.
Oh, the women too?
Yeah.
Lacey Evans.
I know you guys hate the women.
She's not in it.
I know you guys hate the women, but you can give me your picks.
What about? Ooh, you're gonna hate me for this one. What about Ember?
I like that. No, for Money in
Really?
the Bank? Yeah.
Really?
What's wrong with Ember?
I don't know. Stike
What?
says Drew and Charlotte. They'll give it to
I
Charlotte.
feel like she's already lost in the shuffle.
They'll give it to Charlotte. She hasn't had that yet.
Smarky Awards. Here are your awards tonight. We got
Or
marked
Nikki
out,
Bella.
marked out award, biggest push, Golden Shovel, the Creative Change Award, something whatever you would change creatively about tonight, and the LOL Award. We're gonna run through these quickly, guys, because we're running late tonight. So let's start with the marked out award. I'll start out. I marked out for Bray when I realized that it was Bray on the TV doing that segment. That I popped. So there's my mark out award. Coin for me.
We got coins.
Yeah, man. Adam, I'm sorry, Adam.
Mine's gonna be for Robert Roode. I marked out. He's a heel. I like the look change. His moveset already is heelish, so he didn't need to do anything there, and he had a great match.
And from somebody who he once defeated,
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
good job, Brian.
I'm gonna go with you, Rob. Although Adam, I could. Both of those are, the top two. Right?
Acceptable.
They're both great answers.
Acceptable.
Yeah. But we didn't say this actually. How about Bray looking fucking swole?
Swole.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
There's another picture of him floating around on Twitter right now, and he looks like with his it's just like a cutoff. Dude looks fucking jacked. He's been fucking going to the gym hard. It seems like on his time off.
Good for him.
Right?
Yeah, good for him. Okay, next to what board real quick, Adam.
11 on the speed round says Mandy Rose for Money in the Bank, and Soji says
yeah.
Alexa or Ember and Drew. Marked out awards, possibility of a Revival and Usos feud made perfect 11 mark out, and Bray he for Bangbus and Stike, they're right there with you, Rob.
Okay. Next award is going to be the biggest push of the night. I thought the biggest push of the night was the tag division. The tag division
Just
for
the
me.
division as a whole.
Yeah, the division.
That's not it.
No, I think it is. You pushed the division in the right direction. I absolutely think so. Yeah.
That sounds like a weird
Okay,
answer.
well, that's my answer.
You're gonna give yourself a coin.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give myself a Roddy
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
and have a raspberry. Go ahead, Brian.
Mine is actually going to go to Mr. Robert Roode.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve.
A little bit of a character change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he picked up the win over a once a good NXT star.
Okay, Adam.
AJ is now the title contender. I don't see how anybody else didn't get a bigger push.
True.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point. Board real quick.
Robert's mustache for
Yes.
Bang Bus got
Yes.
the biggest push.
Yes.
Robert Roode for Stike, and Corbin was robbed for Trollberg, who just joins us
Oh,
late.
no.
Oh, God.
Corbin was robbed.
Corbin lovers unite with
Gold-
Trollberg.
The golden shovel tonight. Who got the golden shovel tonight?
Oh, can I go first?
Yeah.
It's the Lucha Squash Party.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, and they were destroyed, Rob.
Nah, I'm not.
Sorry,
giving-
Robert.
No, I'm not giving you the point for that. They served their purpose.
Yeah, they got squashed.
They didn't get. Okay. They didn't get buried.
Well, yeah, their name change is coming.
Oh God. Go. Yeah. The Lucha experience.
Golden Shovel. You know what? I'm going to give it to us, the fans. And Reason being is because I thought we were gone of the Viking experience, right? We thought that, this is great. Now they're going to be the Viking Raiders. And then, lo and behold, we see the match. And what's their finisher called? The Viking experience.
The Viking experience.
Can't get away from it.
Don't you? Okay, goddamn it, we'll change it, but we're keeping it. I want my cake and eat it too.
I thought it was gone.
My golden shovel, I'm going to agree with Bang Bus on the board there. Alicia Fox. She got buried in her match and just by her being her tonight. It was just not good. Not even a good showing for Raw. Like this is all the talent you got in the back. This is what you put on TV now? Really? This is who you put on TV, WWE? My God.
I bet if you played her entrance music for 10 out of 10 wrestling fans, they wouldn't know who it was. No.
I bet you if you showed them her picture.
Take her WWE name ID away, and her in-ring style, an indie promoter wouldn't put her fucking in a match.
She's a relic of the diva age.
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam. What you got on the board for yourself?
I already went on the board, the fans, but for the way Sami Zayn buried them in his promo.
We didn't even talk about Sami. Oh, my God. What a great promo tonight.
Yeah.
Just wonderful.
Trollberg says Sami's lame as ever, but that's why he's Trollberg. He's dumb like that.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Soji and Stike are agreeing with the Viking experience. So.
If I had it, last week we kind of shit on Sami saying he didn't attack Montreal as good as he could have. That either he missed the mark or he held back. Tonight, I thought was a complete redemption of that. He was just, for me, on point. Okay. Let's go. Golden Shovel did that. Make a creative thing good again.
Yeah.
My creative change is I make Miz a heel. There you go, Brian.
Don't make AJ Styles watch TV sideways.
Okay, Adam.
Viking Raiders of the Lost Ark next week.
I love that. Wow.
Just
there are so few times that you actually have something.
Yeah.
Fun.
Give him a Roddy.
Yeah, that's
from me.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
Okay, we'll catch up to you, board. Let's see. Our next one's going to be LOL, and mine is going to be the Usos do not drink and drive. I chuckled. I chuckled.
That was great.
Yeah. So there you go. Adam, go ahead.
So in studio while we're watching the Bray segment, I said Bray looks like Bo now, and Brian made me laugh because his reply was that Bo looks like Bray now.
Yeah. Okay. Brian, go ahead.
It was that.
Okay.
We both had a good laugh.
Let's get the board and get off it.
Bang Bus says drink and drive. He's with you. Yeah. Corbin attire for Trollberg. And Viking Raiders to the fucking War Raiders. What the fuck? That's creative change for Stike.
All right, I agree with that. Creative change for Perfect 11. Take the fucking shirt off, Corbin. No. Why?
Yeah.
No, we've seen that. We don't need that. No, it's all good. All right. So that is that. So we can go ahead and move on to our next segment of the night.
Best segment. Wait, you're skipping me
again?
Wow. I'm
man.
Double fucking shaft.
Am I just completely off tonight when it comes to
Jesus Christ. I actually have like something prepared.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, here we go. All right. Calm down. All right, Adams, calm down.
What, Adam?
All right. You got the timer ready, Brian? I got it so I can see it.
Yep, ready to go.
All right, here we go. This is going to be the NXT Minute. So we started off with a curtain jerked VD, current North American champion against the former 205 Live champ, Buddy Murphy. Great match all around. Nothing I could analyze here in a minute, but it was good. From there, we go to Dawkins and Company, and we find out that the Raiders beat them to the punch. That match is going to happen on the network in less than 48 hours.
Who's that again?
Dawkins and Company. From there, Roddy and DX Light attack Johnny G after a lengthy promo. Johnny needs some friends. That's all I know. It probably would have helped him out. Hayabusa, I think he's the guy from Ninja Gaiden. He got a promo, so now we know who's going to fill Hideo Itami's shoes. That's good. The non-supremacist Dominic Dick Jack, or whatever the hell he's called.
Gaiden.
He got a squash match and a microphone. I had it on mute by then, so I have no clue what he said. And let's not forget, Baszler beat the Pirate while her replacement watched. That was also fun.
Time's up.
All right. Who is that doing to see a Regal again?
Dawkins and Company. I'm sorry. Angela Dawkins has been on NXT for a long time. Nobody deserves an opportunity at Gold like him.
First of all, that was Kushida, not Hayabusa.
It's Hideo Itami's replacement to me.
All right. Anytime you have questions about what's happening in the wrestling world, you just need to look upon one guy. That's on Twitter at MarkedOutBT, the bionic one, Bionic Brian. Give us some dirt sheets.
Biggest one over the weekend, Rob and Adam.
Starting
and
strong.
I'm sure you've all heard by now. Was it or was it not Mr. CM Punk doing the run-in at the MKE show over the weekend in Milwaukee? Now, if you've seen the video, it kind of looks like a gangly guy. I mean, he's wearing a mask, but he's got a hoodie on, and there's just a lot of kind of things that are pointing to that this potentially could have been CM Punk. A lot of the things that a lot of the facts are that this is a building that kind of remains kind of near and dear to his heart, because this is a building where he kind of started his whole career. His trainer was the guy that was in the ring, and Dave Prazak was also involved with the whole spiel. So both guys that are very intertwined with CM Punk and his whole wrestling history.
Okay.
For me personally, I think it was him. It makes sense for him not to just go in there as CM Punk just to this show. I mean, why would he spoil his return? Obviously, it's going to be. I don't want to say obviously, but if he were to return, you'd think that it would be something that it would be a little bit more with pageantry, or I guess.
You were the one saying because he's nostalgic of this old promotion going out.
And that's why I think it was him wearing a mask. I mean, he did it because he wore a mask, and now there's kind of doubt. You don't really know if it was him.
Well, let's look at the arguments against, okay? So, and I agree with you. I think it was CM Punk. And I agree. CM Punk's not the kind that would come back with big pageantry. He would come back in this style. This is how he would make not a return.
No. I disagree.
Oh,
I
really?
think he would make a bit. I mean, yeah, he's CM Punk, man. He would do something.
But he would do something like this.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Right. Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But the arguments against it is, he's too small. He doesn't move like him in the GTS with shit. Okay, well, first off, one little added caveat to what you said. The shoes have been identified in another picture, and the sweater has been identified in another picture.
The shoes were a different picture from
that was
a very different time.
It was a different picture.
Okay.
It was a different picture.
But the sweater that he was wearing, there's been a picture floating around with him wearing that sweater.
Yes, and the fact that there was that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament that was in the same town.
Right.
Okay, both of the buildings I MapQuested. Holy shit.
Right.
What the fuck? Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, 3 minutes apart from that tournament to where the wrestling venue was. So there was a picture of him wearing that sweatshirt the day before. So what do you think? That they ordered the sweatshirt on purpose,
and
or
again,
got him to give it to them just so that they could make us think that it was CM Punk?
Right.
I don't think so.
And the arguments against I'm gonna get this out. Arguments against it again is that he's too small. Well, he's been shredding down pounds ever since he went into this MMA fucking fantasy he's been in, right? So that's number one. Number two, the GTS was shit. Okay, he hasn't been in a ring for years. Yeah, it's probably going to be shit. And he's not as big as he once was. So he probably is having a tougher time getting somebody up. And finally, the way he moved exactly the way he always did. Go ahead, Adam.
So first off, number one is the obvious. Yeah, you can buy shoes from a different month, however you want. He was wearing that thing earlier, like a day before, the sweatshirt or whatever. You could have that shit overnighted. A smart promoter knows that there's a connection to CM Punk because obviously he started here, right, Brian? So why not play on that?
Wow.
Why not add to the mystique? I just think that there's no 100% proof that you can say this. Yes, he moved a little bit like Punk, but motherfucker, if it's not supposed to be Punk and he's supposed to be acting that way, of course he's going to move that way.
Wow.
Of course he's going to watch
Seriously?
tape. I'm just saying.
No, you sound like
you're saying cut and dry. He's got a fucking sweatshirt and shoes. It had to be him.
All your fucking points. We're gonna get you a spot on. No, wait. We're gonna get you.
Brian and I are gonna trade shirts. Does that make me Brian and him me?
We're gonna get you a spot on the Ancient Alien show because all the fucking coincidences you just came up with are completely as bullshit as possible. Oh yeah, some promoters
coincidences, some fucking clothes.
Hey, you
the
know what?
promoter's saying it's him. Of course, the promoter's gonna say that. It's free press.
Stop talking.
You talked the whole time. Now it's my turn. I'm giving you my point.
So this is what the promoter did. We got your point, and now we're gonna shit on your point. So let us shit on your point. So the promoter's sitting in the back like, hey Brian, so Punk's gonna be next door fighting jiu-jitsu. Go over there and see what he's wearing, and see if we can get that shit fucking
Exactly.
like half-day nighted in time for tomorrow's show. And then get Mark. He's a skinny little fuck. Get him in there and do a GTS with somebody.
Yep, he's going to be in the area. Let's try and
Fuck.
get some press out of this.
No.
Why not?
It was no.
It could be somebody who's taking advantage of what just happened there and making the most of it.
I'm not saying this is anything more than just a random one-off that he thought might be kind of fun.
Well, I don't think he's going to stick around.
No.
It's not like they didn't do anything like that.
It was the last night of the promotion, you said, or the last
Well,
night of the building.
last night of the building. The building was going to.
If I, it's like it seems like if I'm a former wrestler, this seems like it's something it would be fun to do. You know, run in there. I used to sing with a band. You know, I didn't wear a mask, but every once in a while I'd show up to band gigs for friends of mine, and I would like sing a song.
Case closed on the board. Soji said it was the guy that attacked Brett at the Hall of Fame. He's out on bail now.
LOL. You put the LOL part in there.
Oh, I thought it was implied.
And I don't know if I know we kind of discussed it before the show, but it seems that WWE are their writers are very wishy-washy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. I don't know if that's no. But it looks like Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, and Andrade are on the move again. What once we thought they were going to be on the Raw brand. Now they're getting moved to SmackDown, which kind of begs the question, like, why even debut them on Raw in the first place? Why have them on the show?
So I read that Fox is asking them to put them on SmackDown because they want to have a large Latino presence. Apparently, they have a Fox Latino channel that they're gonna kind of highlight Raw on, right? And they would like to have a large Latino presence on it. And Andrade was kind of their pick. We want this guy, but he comes with Zelina, and Aleister comes with Zelina as well. Because of the married thing.
That's my problem. Like, it seems like Aleister's, his whole kind of push and everything that's going to be on the main roster is kind of determined by what's going on with Andrade and Zelina, which that's kind of shitty, right? In the back of his mind, he's always got to worry about not only about the stuff and all the politics and all that bullshit that goes on with his character, but he's also has to worry about Andrade. I mean, what if Andrade fucks up and then Zelina has no person to partner with?
All I got to say is wait till you get married.
Wait till I get married?
I mean, these are the gives and the takes that you do within a marriage, right? And within a relationship. Is, yes, they are tied to each other professionally and personally, whatever moves they make. So that's going to suck for either one of them, I guess, if they want to make extra moves. But beyond that, they're married, so they probably care about being together more than anything else.
Not like Dean and Renee.
I personally like this, and I'm glad that this. I don't know if it's true about the Fox thing. That's what I read. I'm glad that this forced the WWE's hand. Okay, let's move them Andrade and Zelina over. I'm not happy about losing Andrade on Raw, but I am happy that they were forced to separate Ricochet and Black.
Correct.
I mean that is the best. That was the best case scenario for them.
I agree with that, but I still don't think that this is. I think that this is circumstantial. That the wedding and all that. I think this is just another case of WWE creative not knowing what they're doing and undoing something they did a week ago.
Right.
I think this is, and they're using Fox and everything else as an excuse of why they did it. What's the reason they went to Viking Raiders? I mean, there's so many other proof of things they've changed week to week.
So, all right.
Bang, bang!
And then speaking of more roster moves, recently Alexander Wolf was one of them. One of the names that we thought was going to be gone from WWE, but he has resurfaced with WWE. Well, I guess not WWE, but just NXT UK.
He said on Twitter, he goes, I didn't say goodbye to WWE. He said I was saying goodbye to sanity.
Right.
You know, like he was trying to clarify to everybody. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, you'll do great everywhere else. He goes, I'm not gone.
I just look, for me, if I'm Vince, and again, I know Vince doesn't give half a shit about one way or the other, and they're set to have their highest revenue earning year of all time. And I get all that. But I guess for me, if I was in Vince's place as a personal decision, here I have this jobber talent, right? And I'm not dogging.
I wouldn't say jobber.
I'm not dogging.
Successful.
But he was jobber on the
member.
roster.
Sure.
Okay. And even when it comes to wrestling as a whole, I don't think he's going to be a big star wherever he goes. Let's keep it real, okay? You have this guy who is a B+ talent who jobs on my roster, and he to on the main roster, and he wants to go down to one of my developmentals. That's, to me, that's
Don't call it developmental.
I mean, but I
Don't say
know
the D word.
I know it's better. I know both NXT and NXT UK are better products as a whole or separately or whatever than WWE's main roster products. I know that. I am with you. But in the hierarchy of what is this supposed to be and how the money shows for the talent, how much they get paid, Raw and SmackDown are supposed to be the promised land.
But do they use the D word with NXT UK?
It's a program.
I mean, it's clearly they use it with NXT, but I've never heard it with UK necessarily.
Well, they might not say it like as part of the promotion, but no, I mean, NXT is a farm system to develop new talent from around the world. UK is not going to be the last one we see. We might see NXT Japan.
NXT India.
India, absolutely. India,
or
Japan,
Asia.
China.
It'll probably just be Asia.
Maybe Asia. But
I mean, UK.
But yes, these are
multinational.
These are developmental farm systems. So you're getting top talent from UK, but you're getting them with, again, the ultimate goal of being called up to the main roster. But here's the thing. Maybe they don't have enough room. Maybe they have to make these larger brands and then siphon them out little by little. I don't know.
Or maybe there just is no such thing as a quote-unquote main roster anymore. Maybe we are seeing a shift. Maybe guys are going to be more inclined to go to NXT just because maybe there is just kind of a gray area.
I made this argument before. About a year ago, I made the argument they were doing this as a way to fight against the indie promotions by creating their own indie promotions all around the world.
Well, I think they got tired of dealing with, Memphis Wrestling, OVW, the moving constantly, FCW. They just kept switching who was their farm system. I think they wanted, fuck it, we'll bring it in-house.
Bang, bang!
I guess one of the bigger ones, we haven't talked about it yet, but Goldust. Goldust said goodbye to WWE and is now going to be Cody Rhodes' opponent at Double or Nothing. Personally, I'm not sad to see him go from the whole Goldust thing. I mean, that's great, and he can always go back to it if he wants to. But me personally, I'm excited to see where his new character is going. And, I mean, he's going to be
It's not a character, though.
What do you mean?
It's a one-off.
You think it's a one-off?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
No, I mean, he made it clear in his going away.
He didn't say that this is like a retirement match.
No, yeah, he did. In his going away letter he put on Twitter.
Yeah, he said his body can't take so much.
It spelt out that he's moving in different directions from wrestling. Not necessarily like he might be doing backstage shit. I don't know, but he's saying as far as in ring, he was saying, "I'm done." I mean, in layman's term, I'm done here, and I'm gonna have this. I asked for a release for WWE. I'm gonna have this last hurrah with Cody.
I don't believe it. I think he's going to wrestle more matches. I mean, I'm not saying that you're lying about what he said.
Maybe this is a series that leads to his retirement. Maybe there's a reason why he can't retire. Remember Cactus, said he was retiring. Mick said he was retiring, and they stretched the feud out. I think this is his final feud, and I think in the end, what better way could it be to? I don't have a brother, but your brother retires you.
Sure,
that's kind of cool.
In his new promotion.
Right.
That he's basically saying I'm doing this in honor of my father.
Right, and it's the title that their father. I mean, I think this is all poetic and it's great storyline and it's a perfect. You have other Dustin can't go on the level of everybody else, but you have Kenny and Jericho. You got the Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, and you also have Hangman against Pac. So you have other really good wrestling matches on the card. This is the story one, and that's what makes it good compliment to the rest of that card.
A lot of people are shitting on this, though.
I think it's a great compliment.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm saying a lot of people online.
It's amazing.
I agree. I love it. But a lot of people online are shitting on it, saying we've seen this before. These two, they've had a match before, but they haven't had a match under their own terms. First off, right?
Can Dustin come down as Rhodes?
Yeah. He's Dustin Rhodes.
He can say Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, he can.
I think that's also part of the big fuck you to Vince is great.
They call him Cody Reynolds just to dig it in.
Well, now they can say it's Cody versus Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, like they do Cody and Brandy Rhodes all the time. They could do Cody versus Dustin Rhodes.
He's just, and first of all, I haven't seen anything where he's saying that this is my last match. He's saying this is his last ride. Now, if anything, he's alluding to the fact that
that's what I just said.
Okay, it's an interpretation.
Yeah.
Biker Undertaker is coming back.
Yeah, this is the feud that sends him off into the sunset. I don't think this is his last.
But
match.
he didn't sign his paper as Goldust. He signed his little note as
Dustin.
As Dustin. Yeah. So look, it's up for an interpretation. Either way, it could happen. I don't want to see AEW go down the road of what TNA did and start ushering in a bunch of old WWE guys. Right? I just don't want to see that.
Bang, bang!
4 new AEW signings. A few kind of familiar names, and then a couple that are might be a little bit new. But Peter Avalon, he wrestles out of the West Coast kind of area. That's where he's based out of.
Take the fucking keyboard from him. Because he's having a love fest with somebody on there right now. And he's just typing.
No. We have a new person on the board who said, out of you three guys, I like the guy in the blue shirt beside the Intercontinental title the best. That's me.
Yeah, you'll regret that.
Yeah.
Peter
Avalon is signed to AEW, as well as the formerly known as Blue Pants, Leva Bates. She's going to be over there as well. And then there's a tag team that they just signed. They're called Private Party, and they're out of the House of Glory. That's Amazing Red's promotion in Brooklyn.
All right, Private Party Experience.
I'm excited about the Librarian. I think it can do what the genius Lenny Poffo never explored.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree there. All right. Running late. Come on.
And then finally, we have another resurface of Soft, a.k.a. Known as the Free Agents, spelled with a Z.
A.k.a.
Enzo and Big Cass. We have Big Cass. He's
gonna puke!
Challenging the Briscoes via Twitter, which kind of is sort of setting up what seems to be a Ring of Honor face-off.
Wait, can I ask a question? Was Big Cass's, I guess, whatever, so tarnished that he would want to go hitch his wagon back to Enzo, who's also so tarnished?
Well, I mean, look, if you're both pieces of shit.
Misery loves company?
Yeah, I mean, if you're both just horrible human beings.
Okay.
I mean, say what you want about if you might disagree.
What about Cass?
No, he's a bad person, too.
Think so?
He's a horrible person.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
from what I've heard of why he
Yeah.
Because he burnt his pizza?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could disagree with somebody all day about whether you think they're good wrestlers or not. That's fine. I can argue with you about their promo skills. Sure. Okay. Cool. I'm just not going to have the argument with you if you disagree. They're both horrible human beings, and I could really give a fuck. I didn't want to shut you down like that, but.
Well, hey, maybe this is their the receipt that they're finally going to get after the whole WWE thing. Maybe the Briscoes will hand it to them.
I like that.
Right?
Please. All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing them in Ring of Honor just for that.
I would actually prefer that they just
send them to New Japan.
No. I'm kind of hoping they could just go work at the deli down the street from their house. You want your bread soft?
He can go back to Hooters.
Did we mention that we're going to do a reaction to Double or Nothing?
Yeah, we plan on doing a reaction to Double or Nothing.
Okay.
I think he asked if we mentioned it.
All right.
Yes. We mentioned it. And then lastly, I guess we can do a Ronda Rousey update.
No, we can't. Stop right there. Don't say anymore.
Pregnant?
No,
No pregnant.
Just quiet. Everybody quiet.
What about her husband?
No, stop. I'm just going to put this out there right now. I'm going to put this as executive producer, Marked Out Wrestling Podcast law right now. We are shutting the coffin closed on Ronda Rousey. We are locking the fucking key. Unless something goddamn earth-shaking comes out about her, we have no reason nor desire to talk about her at all, period. She was horrible for wrestling. She was horrible in the ring. She was a horrible failed experiment, and she is gone now. Unless it's wish that she stays gone. If you disagree with me, I don't fucking care. You're fucking wrong. So I'm laying my fucking authoritative foot down on this podcast right now. No fucking Ronda Rousey talk. Move on.
Bang, bang!
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Flush and wipe.
All right. We ran long tonight, boys and girls, so I hope you enjoyed our show. We tried to put some more energy into it tonight, tried to give you a little bit something more than we have. That's positivity. And you know what? But Raw gave us reasons to be positive tonight. So, look, if you want to break it down,
Are we going to be punished tomorrow night for it?
Yes, because if you want to break it down, and I'm just going to say this and we're going to roll out, guys. If you want to break it down, there is only one main there's only one main factor that lends itself to tonight being good. One main factor. You know what that is?
What's that?
No fucking Roman Reigns. Hey, mark out like no one's watching.
Mark down tomorrow.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away. Here are your Marked Out Wrestling housekeeping notes. Stay informed through social media by following us on Facebook, facebook.com/markedout1, Instagram @markedoutwrestling, Twitter @smartmarkshow. Join us live and subscribe on YouTube, Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, or Twitch, Marked Out Wrestling. Listen to us using Apple Podcast, iTunes, or Podbean the following day. Send us your thoughts and opinions, or upload your custom audio segments to us using WeTransfer.com via email, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. MOWP are members of the Electronic Media Collective and Bubba the Love Sponges, Bubba Radio Army. You can listen to us on demand on either platform. Get connected. Get connected.
Oh my God!
I said no.
Okay, I clean. I stick finger in your mouth. Housekeeping.
Okay.
Okay.
Show me the money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Hello, Marked Out Wrestling listener family. This is Rody Rob, the executive producer of the show, and I'm excited to tell you about some great ways to help us continue to bring you great pro wrestling fan perspective in the coming year. Visit markedoutgear.com and browse our new line of apparel and gear. You can grab a shirt or gear with some of our favorite catchphrases from the show or some of our original concepts. And don't forget to use the promo code SmartMarkShow for 10% off of your entire order. Independent wrestlers, we'd love to support your growth by offering you a platform to market yourself. Email us, markedoutgear@gmail.com, if you are interested. We will take a minimal cut while giving you up to 90% of the profits. Also, join one of our monthly tiers on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/markedoutwrestling, and if you choose the Marking Out tier of $20 a month, we will send you an MOWP shirt as a thank you. Finally, visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code MARKEDOUT, that's all caps and one word, to receive 10% off of your entire order of Al Snow's popular pro wrestling brand apparel.
Show me the money! Show me the money! You my motherfucker!
And thank you for your support.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by You Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.